Welcome back, everybody, to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios, back at it with another debate video. Today's debate video, we're going to be talking about Shin Earth Godzilla versus Shin Ghidorah. So, what we're going to do is we're going to try to open two doors that have never been opened before in the real universe of Godzilla. What I mean by this is either the universe of Legendary's Monsterverse or Toho's Cinematic Universe. So none of these two kaijus really exist in, we could say, reality. We could call these fan kaijus. And so what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna go deep into Shin Earth Godzilla. We're gonna go over his backstory, characteristics, height, abilities, all that good stuff. Pretty much opening a door that's never been opened before. Same thing with Shin Ghidorah. And then we're gonna put these two monsters to fight against each other to see if these two monsters were to be on the silver screen, who would be the king of the monsters. So without further ado, let's begin with Shin Earth Godzilla's backstory. Shin Earth Godzilla came to existence after the events of Shin Godzilla attacking Tokyo took place, and was attacked with a coagulant which froze him but left the right leg unfrozen and bodily fluids dripped down onto the ground. With vines that took in the fluids that contained Shin DNA and combining with an autotroph created a new massive organism known as Shin Earth Godzilla. So pretty much to summarize really quick what really happened here is after the coagulant was placed, Shin Godzilla's right leg was not fully frozen and bodily fluids were dripping down. We could call that blood, pretty much. And there were vines in that area, which we can call them autotrophs as being plants, right? I hope vines are autotrophs, because I'll be a fool. Nah, I believe they are. But so vines being autotrophs, they're being plants, and they took in the DNA of Shin Godzilla, combining it to become a new organism known as Shin Earth Godzilla. And that's pretty much what happened here. Now let's go over the abilities. I'm going to quickly skim over the abilities, and then we're going to finish off Shin Earth Godzilla. Before we move on to Shin Ghidorah, we'll do a deep analysis of the abilities, so don't worry. For now, I'm going to quickly skim over them. So let's go. Abilities of Shin Earth Godzilla, quick skim. Atomic lasers. Radiation blast throughout body and tail. Lava radiation blast. Instant regeneration. Adaptation, Scarlet Godzilla Ability. Height, 237 meters. Territorial level is high. Aggression level is high. Biome is Earth and space. Okay, now let me go back to abilities, and I'll explain. By explaining the abilities, I'll also explain why Biome is Earth and space, so don't worry about that as well. So let's start off with the abilities. Atomic lasers. That comes from Shin Godzilla. It is a regular ability coming from the DNA of Shin Godzilla, just like he had in the movie, the purple atomic lasers. That's exactly what it is. Next, we have the radiation blast throughout body and tail. Now, this is a little bit different, having a more of a Earth and Shin mixture, right? The lasers that Shin Godzilla used to have that were coming out of his body, now in this, it's similar to it, the function is similar, but now Shin Godzilla only has, or excuse me, Shin Earth Godzilla only has an atomic laser throughout the mouth. But, in a different compromising way, it's more of a gas. It's a radiation gas that's very, very able to kill almost any organism, and it's discrete all throughout the body and the tail. So it's more of a silent but deadly blast. If you know, you know. Next, we have lava radiation blast. This is interesting because now, having Shin DNA, Shin Godzilla is known to overheat himself. Yes, of course, he adapted to not suffer from it, but at one point in the movie, we learned that Shin Godzilla would overheat. Now, this plant DNA confused with Shin DNA likes to synthesize heat. and the heat being synthesized is being able to having the capacity of holding the heat without overheating allows this creature to blow out a lava radiation blast. To just shoot out lava in forms of radiation at super high temperatures to burn his abilities to death. Or burn his abilities, burn his opponents to death. That's exactly what I meant. That's what's happening right there. And then we have the instant regeneration that's coming from Shin DNA. Adaptation, Shin DNA again, because Shin Godzilla can evolve and adapt, change forms from form 1 to form 2 to form 3 to form 4. We see that throughout the movie, even taking and copying what he sees as humanoids at the end of his tail as adaptation. And Scarlet Godzilla Ability, if there is any nanometal around the area, then he will go into, you could say, a Fire Godzilla, Burning Godzilla mode that Legendary did in the Earth Godzilla mode. If there's nanometal, he will go in Ultimate Beast and Rage mode. The best way I can explain this is if you've ever played Godzilla Unleashed or Godzilla Save the Earth, there's these crystals you have to collect. It could also symbolize nanometal, right? And when you collect these crystals, enough you can go into something called Rage mode, and literally nothing can touch you when you go into Rage mode. And that's pretty much what this Scarlet Godzilla is. Okay, this pretty much sums up our Shin Earth Godzilla. Now let's go into the backstory and all that good stuff for Shin Ghidorah. So Shin Ghidorah came to be when aliens who had the power of time traveling were able to travel back in time to Godzillasaurus and pick up the Ghidorah babies, as known as the Dorats, and time travel back to 2016 and replace the existence of Shin Godzilla with the 3 Dorats. So the nuclear waste would be present to the Dorats and not Shin Godzilla until this very day Shin Ghidorah reigns as king. So this is pretty much what happened. Just to summarize it, aliens time traveled, picked up the Dorats, and replaced the existence of Shin Godzilla with the 3 Dorats, so nuclear waste would be present to the Dorats and not Shin Godzilla. So pretty much, literally this is what happened, if you still haven't caught on. Because this one might be a bit confusing. By the way, I wrote both of these. And when Shin Godzilla was the nuclear waste, instead of that, these 3 Dorats got the same abilities of Shin Godzilla. Simplified version. And that's exactly what happened. That's the origin of Shin Ghidorah. We can call him Shin Ghidorah too, but Shin Ghidorah sounds more badass, I don't know. Now, height is 192 meters tall. With that being said, abilities, same rule, I'm quickly skipping over them for now, we'll come back to them, don't worry. Abilities, we have Death Ray, Eye Lasers, Wing Blast, Adaptation Ability, Space Impact, and Tail Flesh Ripper. Aggression level is high, Territorial level is high, Biome is Earth and Space. Oh, and by the way, excuse me, I did not explain why Shin Earth Godzilla would be Earth to Space, because he can adapt to anything and he can adapt to space if he wants to, because he has Shin DNA. That's exactly why I said Shin Earth Godzilla can have Earth and Space. And same thing with Earth and Space, because Ghidorah took in the same abilities from the nuclear waste, which will have the abilities, will have the evolving abilities as well, so he could do it. Now, we pretty much went over this guy. Now let's go over the abilities. Deep Skim. Death Ray. This is like when King Ghidorah has the gravity beams. This is more of a death ray. It's more powerful. Imagine, here's a better way to put it. Imagine the gravity beams of King Ghidorah multiplied by 5 of strength and the thickness. That would be your death ray. And it's nothing special, but well, actually there is a special part to it. Yes, the death ray is supposed to kill, or the gravity beam itself kills, but the death ray is stronger. But the most important thing that the death ray does is it focuses on a part of the body, and where it focuses, it kills organs and organelles of the body. It completely shuts them off. That's why it's called the death ray. Next we have the eye lasers. This is like something that Shin Godzilla had, but instead it's coming from the eyes of King Ghidorah. So he has from all three heads, there are eye lasers coming out, and it just rips the flesh. That's all it does. But it does rip the flesh. It's a laser. It's very strong. It's stronger than an atomic breath. Right? Next we have the Wing Blast. The Wing Blast is quite interesting. So what happens here is, first of all, we know that Shin Ghidorah is full of radiation, right? So what happens is he will recharge, and he can blast massive amounts of radiation and lasers that contain radiation throughout his wings in almost every single direction, just cutting flesh and bones and everything all around him. That is the Wing Blast. Next we have the Adaptation ability. Same thing that Shin Godzilla had. He can adapt and evolve to situations given. If he needs to adapt to live in fire, he'll adapt. If he needs to adapt to a different form, he'll adapt. Space impact is really interesting. Now, Shin Ghidorah has very strong gravitational abilities, and if he wanted to, he can pull stars onto the Earth, destroying Earth and destroying his opponents. Yes, that is the power of the mighty King Ghidorah, or shall I say, mighty Shin Ghidorah. And then we have the Tail Flesh Ripper. He has teeth on the bottom of his tail that can bite and rip flesh if grabbed onto the opponent's body. And now we have these two kaijus pretty much done. What we're gonna do now is go into the final stage and do what we've all been waiting for and put these two monsters to battle against each other. So we're gonna go close range battle and far range battle. Now note important why I do this. Close range battle is a very practical fight where every monster will do fair battle. Far range is really putting these two monsters to the test, because I'm trying to see if these monsters will still be able to fight successfully if we limit some of their abilities. It's a good rating factor. Obviously, far range is less practical, so we're going to do far range first and then close range second. Keeping best for last. And on a rare scenario, if you do go close range, or excuse me, if you do get a tie, we will go into overtime. And I'm not going to explain that right now, but I'll explain it whenever the time comes. So, without further ado, let's talk about far range. Let's start off with Shin Earth Godzilla. Let's see what abilities he can and cannot use when it comes to far distance. Atomic laser, yes, of course. He can use it without further ado. That is a given. It is meant to go far distances, right? There you have it. Radiation blast throughout the body and tail, yes, made to go far distances. Lava radiation blast, yes, made to go far distance as well. All good. Instant regeneration, sure. That's a defensive ability, if anything. Adaptation, yes. Scarlet Godzilla Ability, yeah. I mean, that's more of a defensive and attacking ability from far range, and you can use his abilities. So everything here, interesting enough, on a very rare occasion, he can actually use, which is quite rare in my debate videos. So what I want to do now is let's go to Shin Ghidorah and let's see what he can and cannot use. So Death Ray, yes, made to go far distances. Eye lasers, of course. Alright. Wing Blast, yes. Adaptation ability, yes. Space Impact, sure. Tail Flesh Ripper, no. So only thing he can't use the Tail Flesh Ripper because he needs to actually touch the opponent. So, obviously, I'm gonna see Shin Earth Godzilla being the one defending Earth, being from Earth ability, Earth things, and then Shin Biolante, or Shin Biolante. Oh, hint, hint. I might be doing that next, right? But no, Shin Ghidorah being the one that's attacking, so he's not being the first one to attack. Well, the invader is a better way to say it. So I think that Shin Earth Godzilla will start off this battle as a warning blast, you can call it, with the atomic laser. Is that gonna hurt Shin Ghidorah? No, it's probably gonna stun him with the first blast. I would say that. But it is definitely gonna cause anger in the beast. Right? Definitely it's going to cause some anger. And definitely it's either gonna cause two things. It's gonna cause him to either retreat or to accept the challenge and fight back. Obviously, we know that having Shin DNA, he is going to want to fight back, especially being of a Ghidorah descendant. His plan is to take over, and only to take over, doesn't care about anything. That is the whole purpose of Ghidorah, nonetheless of being Shin. And having that, I think, already being hit with a laser that is quite intriguing, I think he will use a death ray on Shin Earth Godzilla, focusing on one of the arms, killing a lot of blood cells and organelles and all of that on his body, on his arm, leaving his arm vulnerable, completely vulnerable. So that could be a good one. And then from there, I see King Ghidorah. I've seen a lot of King Ghidorah movies in my time. And I would love to say that he likes to do combos when he's fighting, right? So let's say that he does use this so-called combo, right? With the Death Ray, he can do the Wing Blast and completely just flood Shin Earth Godzilla with radiation of lasers, just cutting flesh and flesh and flesh everywhere, making Shin Earth Godzilla bleed everywhere as well, causing him some anger. But I see an instant regeneration taking place not everything will be recovered, but a good portion will be recovered. And I see assuming that there is a metal there, going to Scarlet mode and just blasting into Shin Ghidorah, causing him to just melt. That's what I see happening. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I see happening. And I see Shin Earth Godzilla winning from far range. So 1-0 for Shin Earth Godzilla. Now close range is all out. All out war is anything allowed. Now it is to take into consideration this. Shin Earth Godzilla is 237 meters tall, right? And Shin Ghidorah is 192 meters tall. So we already know that Shin Earth Godzilla is a bit taller. Quite a bit, actually. He has some height, distance, we can say. And with that being said, obviously, I'm still gonna stand with my first premise that Shin Earth Godzilla is me first to initiate the battle, but I see Shin Ghidorah flying over the place and just whipping Earth Godzilla, or Shin Earth Godzilla, with the tail flesh ripper. And I'm talking about a very strong flesh ripper, something very strong. Like it grabs onto flesh and it just digs deep and deep into it. And then using the Wing Blast. Remember, we're talking about superheat and just pushing Earth Godzilla onto the ground. Massive battle scars at this point, and then shooting him with the death ray from the earth, or from the air, and killing a lot of organs in the body. Right? Now, yes, Shin Earth Godzilla can regenerate, being highly giant, can use the lava radiation blast, superheat, and I believe that will put down Shin Ghidorah, though. I really do believe that. and so leaving him at 2-0, the winner of this battle being Shin Earth Godzilla. Obviously, this is just my opinion. You can debate me in the comment section below. I will leave all their abilities, characteristics in the description of this video with my promise. And thank you so much for watching. And as always, have a great day. Let me finish off Burning Godzilla for everybody. Boom. Alright, see you guys later.